Hello, my angels, and welcome back to another video. And this week, we're going to go over the top 5 Am I the A-hole Reddits about VTubers, the artistic community, along with other stories regarding streamers. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Story 1 is titled, Am I the A-hole for telling my VRoid client enough is enough? I'm the artist, 27 female. My client on Etsy wanted one of my pre-made VRoid VTuber models / streamer packages. They asked me if I could make minor changes to it before she bought it. I agreed, but the changes became more than minor. I told the client, let's call her Mel, that she would need to buy the custom model listing for the changes because it was a lot more than minor. I felt bad that she didn't seem to know that it was a lot, and she was very obviously new to commissions and VTubing, so I told her that she could have the overlay / emotes from the other listing for the same price as just the custom model. Long story short, she doesn't know what she wants. She makes many changes and wants the commission done in 8 hours, and keeps changing her mind as I am in the middle of fulfilling her last idea on the design. She finally approves the design / fundamentals of the model, and I take it to Unity / Blender to get the model finished. She pays, and she seems to love it. The next day, she's requesting technical fixes, which I, of course, offer to do as it's a part of my TOS. I told her the options for fixing some minor clipping, and instead she insists on changing the design again, which would need me to go back to VRoid Studio and re-rig everything again in Unity / Blender, a multi-hour process, not to mention a few hours to test bones and expressions, etc. She requests several changes as I'm finishing up the tech fix, then says, you know what, the clipping really wasn't that big of an issue, so let's revert back to the way it was before all of this and make a few more changes. I tell Mel I'm done and I will no longer continue on the model. She says I'm pulling an attitude and I'm being unprofessional, and she says she will have her bank refund her ASAP. She's already used the model on stream and other assets in the package. I spent 30 out of the last 48 hours on this model, and I worked really hard. I'm so tired. So, am I the a-hole? I felt taken advantage of, and I normally don't put my foot down on commissions like this. So for this story, I don't think she is the a-hole at all. I totally understand why she wouldn't want to continue on with the commission. Thankfully, as I was reading, it doesn't seem like this person forked out a whole lot of money for the cancellation, but it does seem very unfortunate that she's saying that she's going to refute it with her bank. There's not an update on this, so I don't know if she actually did, but I would tell her that she's gotten what she's paid for, because I think like the prices were only like $60 to $70 for this VRoid model. So I would definitely tell her as the artist that she's gotten what she's paid for, and like she's used it in streams, and like I'm just not willing to work on the model anymore. Maybe you can keep the model that I've already worked on, but I'm not going to continue working on this for you. Be sure to drop a comment on what you would have done in this situation. Story 2 is titled, Am I the a-hole? My sibling became a very successful VTuber, and now my mom is wondering why I can't do the same or something in a similar vein. Pre-COVID and Canada's economy collapse, my sibling became a VTuber and was making a respectable 5 figures a year before she stopped streaming. Fast forward 3 years, and I'm trying to get a part-time job when it's the hardest it's ever been here. So I'm trying to become a Fortnite coach, and it's not working out. So my parents seem disappointed and wondering why I can't be as successful as her. So, am I the a-hole? So I honestly don't know if this story is really true or not, but if it is, the advice that I would give to this person is maybe don't become a Fortnite coach, maybe become like a Valorant coach or something, and also maybe explain to your parents that the VTuber community was very different pre-COVID, and COVID changed a lot of things. And it also seems that the sister stopped streaming, so I would explain to her that you can't push all this pressure on me when my sibling isn't even streaming anymore and probably wouldn't be making the same amount of money as she was if she starts going back into streaming now. VTubing is very popularized now, so it's very hard to kind of come up with that audience very quickly. I mean, maybe if she had like a prior audience and she's returning, maybe there would be hype about that. But starting fresh from the ground up is very, very hard. But what would you recommend this person do? Story 3 is titled, Am I the a-hole for keeping my VTuber life away from my talkative friend? My friend called me a liar. I've been active in the VTuber community for a bit and streaming frequently. My group is very small and like only 3 friends IRL know that it's me. We've been friends for years on and off and now on better terms. I didn't think anything of it when I stopped by and I thought my 2D self would mask that it was even me. And then it happened. They participated in my streams and questioned if it was me. And I denied it. They egged me as a liar, but I feel like I don't owe them anything. So, am I the a-hole? So for this story, I don't believe this person is the a-hole. I can understand wanting to keep your personal online life separate from your personal IRL life, especially if that friend's talkative and would tell people and potential maybe co-workers if you work together that you stream, which can put your job in jeopardy. I wouldn't say in jeopardy if you're not doing anything wrong, but a lot of employers don't like when their employees have a social media presence at all. It makes them feel like they can talk about anything and kind of get away with it. So it's a double-edged sword, but I wouldn't call this person a liar at all. But let me know what you think in the comments. Story 4 is titled as, Am I the a-hole for watching my ex-girlfriend stream on Twitch? My girlfriend and I broke up 6 weeks ago. I'm still interested in trying again, and I have told her so. But I've been trying to respect her need for space. My girlfriend and I broke up 6 weeks ago. I'm still interested in trying again, and I have told her so. But I've been trying to respect her need for space. She streams on Twitch about once a week, and I've been watching because I enjoy seeing her play. We've talked about boundaries since the breakup. I mentioned her streaming before, and she didn't say anything, so I assumed she was cool with it. This week, she blocked me on Twitch without any warning, so apparently she was not cool with it after all. I asked her about it the next day just to confirm it wasn't an accident, and she was pretty crappy about it. She didn't even acknowledge she did it at first. Instead, she said neat and asked me how it worked from my end. Maybe she was just being evasive because she was uncomfortable, but I told her I wish she would have said something first, and she told me I can wish it, but she doesn't have to do it, which felt like a big screw you. I get that she might feel uncomfortable with me watching. I'm fine with respecting that, but am I the a-hole for expecting her to communicate her boundaries? And 2, am I the a-hole for assuming it was okay to watch her stream on Twitch? For this story, I don't feel like we're getting a lot of the details. I feel like a lot of things happened. I feel like potentially she maybe did tell him that she didn't want him to be in her streams and he crossed that boundary just to kind of test and see what she would do. But of course, because we don't really have her side and we're just going off the information he has given us, I would say that she should have clarified a little bit more if this is really the case. But I also think that he should have asked her if it was okay and not have just assumed. So I do think he is the a-hole in this situation because ultimately it's a slippery slope bringing that tension into her streams, a place that she probably feels safe and can be herself. So bringing in a toxic relationship or a prior breakup or you're wanting, like, there's a lot of things that can go into it. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this one. Story 5 is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my son he will never make it as a streamer? Since my son turned 18, he started spending a lot of money on his computer. Microphones, green screens, another monitor screen, the works. And he started becoming hyper obsessed with his on-screen appearance. We were at first worried about his safety to talk to strangers, but now we're more worried about his plans. He's been doing this for about a year now and has only earned about $1,000. He screams at us if he hears us turn on Netflix because it slows his internet down, apparently. I sat him down and in no ambiguous terms told him he would never make it and it was time to find a real job. As motivation, we called our internet provider and asked to be downgraded to the cheapest and slowest plan so he wouldn't be able to stream. I know it sounds a bit extreme, but I had a job lined up for him. I'm a landlord and recently laid off my only employee in hopes that my son would take over. It's a very easy job, applications now and then, and arranging general repairs. But he didn't take this well and threw a fit and walked off. My wife, God bless her soul, has started feeling bad, but I'm sticking to my guns. Am I the a-hole? I really wanted to end off with this one because as a previous teenager, I can understand when you are talking to your parents and they're not taking a hobby of yours seriously and it doesn't feel like they're supporting you. I definitely feel like as a parent, I would not address the problem like this parent did. I would maybe establish a reward system. Now, granted, this child, as stated in the story, is 18. I do feel like he needs a stable job to rely on. Streaming is not stable at all. You can't depend on it really as a form of income, but he has made profit and a lot of streamers don't see profit. So to me, that tells me that this boy is capable of growing. And I feel like it's definitely a potential to talk about with him as a career or maybe as a side hobby, but that you expect him to still be able to do a job and maintain this. I think it can be safe to say that it's okay as a parent to understand that children can make income in more than one ways versus just strict hard labor. And if they're good at something, don't diminish it and cast a light on it. And I think that's really important for parents to understand. I don't think it was a good idea to take away the internet, essentially, to stop doing, like, he's not spending his parents' money on his computers. It sounds like he's only using the profits from his stream to build up so he can be able to continue to keep up with the stream flow, which is exactly what streamers do. Maybe not all of them, but for a kid who's like, oh my gosh, I'm making money off of this. I can really do this. It's really exciting. So I completely understand it. As a parent, I would want to encourage that, but I would also want to be realistic. I wouldn't take this away from him. Again, I would establish let's do a part-time work and then you do streaming on the side. But yeah, that is my take. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. There will be another episode, part 2, coming out. I wanted to split this off into 2 parts, mainly because I feel like there was just a lot of stories and a lot I wanted to go through. But yeah, just part 2 should be out shortly after this one. I'm not sure, maybe a couple days or so. Just depends on how long it takes me to edit. Typically, these things go very quickly. But yeah, until next time, bye!